What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Cave. As always, I'm Fantazi, and in today's video, I want to talk about the top 10 things that I learned on my first trip as a solo traveler. So, first off, some of these things are going to be more of tips and tricks. Some of them are going to be more personal things that I realized while I was on my trip. So, let's just jump right into it. First, number 10, just do it. If you want to travel, just do it. Don't wait for somebody. Don't, if all your friends are telling you no, don't think that you can't go. Just do it. Book your trip and go. If that's what you want to do it. Now, number 9 is don't book everything in advance. That was one of my issues. Now, I understand, like, maybe some people get kind of nervous and they don't want to maybe lose out on not having a room or whatever it may be, so they book everything in advance, and that's kind of what I did. Now, mind you, it's not the worst thing in the world. You can still have a fun time if you have everything booked in advance, but what I kind of figured out is that I wanted to go other places. I wanted to travel outside of Vancouver, but I was stuck there because I had already paid for my room. So if I would have thought about it and maybe gotten a few nights in Vancouver and then maybe a few nights in Whistler or whatever it may have been, I could have seen much more of the country than I got to. Mind you, I had a great trip. I was glad that I went to Vancouver. Now I don't really feel like I need to go back to Vancouver, even though I would love to. If I had some friends who were going or whatever it may be, I would definitely go back to Vancouver. But it is not necessary. I have done the things that I wanted to do there. So just, if you can get away from it, don't book everything in advance. Book some things, but don't book everything. On to number 8. Travel will change you. And don't be afraid of that. Like, the experiences that you will have will be unlike anything else you've experienced. And so you have to just go with the flow. You have to just live in the moment and don't worry about the outcome. On to number 7, be mindful of your surroundings. So as much as you just should just go for it and see what's out there, also, like, when you're there, don't be naive to where you're at. Vancouver is known as one of the greenest cities in the world, but at the same time, something that you may not have seen from my videos because I kind of stayed away from it somewhat, but there's a very big homeless issue in Vancouver, just like any other big city. But the thing is that they are very in your face, and it kind of throws you off at first when you first get there. It kind of might scare you a bit. I definitely had a few threatening encounters with some homeless people, and even though I wish I could help them, there's really nothing I can do for them. They're not there because they don't have anything, which they don't have anything, but they just want to be given everything. Like, I could give them $1,000 and that wouldn't do them any good. You know, it would just hurt them. They would go and buy a bunch of alcohol and buy a bunch of drugs. And the reason that I say this is because I saw it. I saw people going out and buying drugs and buying alcohol. And it's not something that you can help. There's really no way to fix it. So my tip would to be just be mindful of where you're at and keep yourself safe. Now, number 6 is not so much something I had to deal with, but something that I noticed a lot. And it's a tip you hear all the time here on YouTube. Don't pack so much. There is no need for it. Pack what you think you need and take half of it out. Like, you don't need that stuff. So just don't pack so much. I find that, like, I personally did not pack very much. I packed in a carry-on. Ended up being the perfect amount. I mean, it was exactly what I needed. But I noticed everybody had these huge duffel bags, trying to carry them upstairs in the hostel. Would take up half the room in your room that you're sharing with 4 or 5 other people, however many. And it's like, not only are you taking up your space, you're taking up their space as well. So think about that. Just don't take as much as you think you need, like, because you probably won't use it in the long run. Now, number 5 is take opportunities as they come. So if you just met someone at your hostel or wherever, and they're getting ready to go and on an adventure, whatever they're getting ready to go do, go with them. If they have invited you, tag along, because you never know what that experience is going to hold for you. It may be the best part of your entire trip. The fact that you said yes could be a game changer for your entire trip. So don't be afraid to do things that are unexpected. Like, you can do all the research you want, but you'll never know what's out there until you go do it. So, and for number 4, I would say challenge yourself. Whenever you have an opportunity that seems scary or too much of a challenge or whatever it may be, take it, go for it. Whether it's jumping out of a plane or hiking up a mountain or whatever, bungee jumping, anything. Whenever it's something that seems like it's out of your grasp, out of your norm, go for it. Because those are the things that are going to push you above and beyond. Those are going to be the memories that stick with you, and those are going to be the moments that you are so happy that you overcame. Now, on to number 3. Try to meet the locals. Now, that can be tougher than you think. In Vancouver, I literally met 5 people from Canada. The whole time I was there, maybe 5 people. And 2 people for sure were from Vancouver. But other than that, they were just from Canada. So sometimes, depending on where you are at, it is hard to find the locals. But get out and try to go to the local markets or, go to a local pub or whatever it may be. Get out and meet the people who live in that area, because they will give you a much better understanding of the place that you are in and the place that you are enjoying that anyone else can. And I found that to be the toughest thing, was to find people that actually knew Vancouver. Now, there are people who had lived in Vancouver for a long time and they could show me around and all that stuff, but no one could give me the history of that city like the locals. So if you have the opportunity, meet the people who are from the place you are visiting. Now, on to number 2. This is a little bit different. This is more of a personal thing that I noticed, okay? So don't intrude on other people's experience. So if you're staying in a hostel, everyone there is there to travel and there to have an experience, right? So you don't want to intrude on their experience. Have good manners. Like, if your bag's in the way, make sure it's packed up and put it out of the way so that when people are coming into their room, they can feel comfortable. Dorm rooms in hostels can get extremely messy. So if you take out a little bit of time to clean up your area, maybe the others in your room will do the same, and you guys will all have a much more enjoyable time in your hostel. So now on to number 1. My number 1 tip for traveling solo or traveling in general. This is just what I learned from my trip, and it kind of touches on the last tip, but it's a little bit different. And some people disagree with me, but I truly believe this. Please do not talk politics. I know it's so hard, especially in the world we live in today, but it is not worth it. Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone may be very passionate about their opinion. And so, in order to talk about politics, there's a very likely chance that you are going to make someone mad. And that kind of goes back to don't intrude on other people's experience. They're there to have a good time just as much as you. And so if you are having a conversation that's upsetting someone else because you want to get your point across about this, that, or the other, it's not worth it. And so those are my 10 travel tips that I learned from my first solo trip. and I hope they help you. Mind you, they're just my opinions, but if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Right now I'm trying to get up to 10 subscribers, so if you can help me out with that, I would love you forever. And if you give me a thumbs up, shoot me a comment, and if you have a channel, I will go and check out your channel. And yeah, I want to build a community, guys, so help me. You know, if you are a travel vlogger, or if you're any type of YouTuber, you know, hit me up and let's connect, and let's grow together. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.